I know that I said my next vlog will be back to normal, but I had to make a slight change to that because I seen something that concerned me, and I want to discuss that for a minute. Now, what happened in Las Vegas, it was horrible. It was awful. It was really bad, and it was pure evil is why it happened. It should not be politicized at all. And that's exactly what's happening. The left's going to blame it on the right, and the right's going to blame it on the left. Regardless of your political views or my political views, it is wrong. Now, the one thing I can't stand is when a person who has a platform to speak from uses it to lie to the people. And Jimmy Kimmel did just that. He used it and had a completely fabricated story that he used to tell the people. And I just want to kind of set the record straight a little bit.
Second Amendment, I guess, our forefathers wanted us to have AK-47s, is the argument, I assume. Orlando, Newtown, Aurora, San Bernardino, every one of these shootings, the murder used automatic or semi-automatic rifles, which are not weapons you use for self-defense. They're weapons designed to kill large numbers of people in the shortest possible amount of time.
The statistics show, but the amount of times that an AR-15 or a semi-automatic rifle or something like that was used to protect people more than doubles the amount of time it was used to hurt people.
This guy reportedly had 10 of them in his room, apparently legally. At least some of them were there legally. Why is that allowed?
It's allowed because in '94, Bill Clinton signed a bill defining semi-automatic rifles, making them legal.
And last night, the White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said this is not the time, or actually it was today, this morning, she said it was not the time for political debate. And I don't know, we have 59 innocent people dead. It wasn't their time either. So I think now is the time for political debate.
But just because he thinks it's time for political debate, he doesn't speak for America. And America wants to, take it in and, ponder what they can do to help.
In February, he also signed a bill that made it easier for people with severe mental illness to buy guns legally.
Now, that is completely inaccurate. What President Trump signed in February, it's a retraction of a legislation that President Obama was trying to get passed that made it illegal for people who were getting Social Security to be able to purchase a firearm. And that would mean that nearly 75,000 Americans would not be able to get firearms just because they were classified as having a mental illness and were receiving Social Security from the government. Now, just because they receive Social Security does not mean that they're mentally ill, not one bit. And most of them stand competent enough to be able to own a firearm.
Right now, there are loopholes in the law that let people avoid background checks if they buy a gun privately from another party, if they buy a gun online or at a gun show.
Again, he's banking on you not knowing because this is completely false. And if you've ever been to a gun show and tried to purchase a gun, you will know this. You cannot leave the gun show until you do your FBI background check. The only way it is legal to purchase a firearm without having a background check is if you purchase it from a person or it was purchased for you.
This is a Nick's background check.
Oh, I thought at gun shows you didn't have to do a background check.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's a great idea that we sell automatic weapons in this country.
Listen, during the theater shooting in Colorado, I was able to go and buy an automatic weapon.
Gunned down by a semi-automatic weapon, by a fully automatic weapon in that case.
There's no reason anybody needs to have an automatic weapon. I'm sorry.
And now with automatic weapons can wreak so much more violence.
I think most people can go out and buy an automatic weapon.
Which one of these can, do the most damage?
What are you looking to do? Probably just having fun at the range, right?
Yeah, let's call it that.
Are you doing like home defense or like what is your?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
At least. It can be turned into a fully automatic.
Negative.
It's a gun show. There's always a way to do that.
No way to do that.
So are you familiar on the laws with these firearms?
No, he told me I couldn't get an automatic, and that was the thing, that next best thing.
You're aware that for a fully automatic gun, you need a Class 3 license.
That's what he told me.
It's very highly regulated, right? You're aware that it's a huge crime to modify these into fully automatic weapons. Is that your intent to make this into a fully automatic?
Does it matter if I say yes or no?
Yes. Yes. And
then I'll say no.
Sorry, yeah, we cannot sell you a gun.
ISIL does training videos that say the easiest way to get a combat assault weapon in the United States of America is at a gun show, then we should all be waking up.
It is exceedingly simple to buy guns at gun shows without any background check.
We are going to end this gun show loophole.
You know, to get more of the background checks done on more of the sales at gun shows.
30-40% of those guns are coming from Indiana across the border where there are much laxer laws.
Walking into a gun show and be like, I wouldn't pass a background check. I'm a terrorist. But hand me a gun. What?
They go to a gun show in Indiana where right now they don't have to do a background check. Load up a van and open up that van and sell them to kids and gangs in Chicago.
I was told that I could go to a gun show and there would be no background check. So there would need to be a background check? That's a problem. I was told by the president that I could go here.
Believe him? That's a felony and 20 years, and I'm not going to mess with it. No.
A DUI. And it's like I can't buy a gun.
Yup.
I hit a woman, but she was jaywalking. Pregnant. It was her fault. I have all cash.
You think I'm going to go to jail over that? No way.
Yeah, it was 2 in the afternoon. And I shot someone.
So don't even go down that road. What you're asking is for somebody to commit a felony.
But it's a gun show.
Yeah. While you're asking them to do that, you're committing a felony as well.
Would they sell to someone who's run over a pregnant woman?
And by the way, the House of Representatives will be voting on a piece of legislation this week. It's a bill to legalize the sale of silencers for guns. This is what they're working on.
The very night of the shooting, Hillary Clinton sent out this tweet. Now he's talking about it here. They watch too much TV is what happens, because silencers do not make a gun silent. They lower the decibel so it doesn't hurt your ears when you shoot, but you can still very much hear the gun.
My AR-15 5.56, put the silencer on the end of it. I'm going to show you how much difference it made in shooting.
It doesn't make the gun silent, and I guess they watch too much James Bond and they think, you know, it completely gets rid of all the noise.
Well, you needn't worry. The second is...
Silencers are made to lower the decibel to protect your ears. Now, had the guy been shooting with a silencer in Las Vegas, they more than likely would have figured out where he was faster and been able to stop him. When he's shooting down from the 32nd floor into that crowd of 2,200 people, you can hear it, and you're getting an echo from all the buildings around it, and because of it being so loud, breaking the sound barrier, you're hearing all these different things when somebody shoots a gun like that. With a silencer, all you would hear is the shot. You wouldn't get the echo. You wouldn't get any other background noise, i.e. breaking the sound barrier or anything like that. And you would be able to look, hey, there's where the shots are coming from. We can hear them, we can see them, you know, and they would have had a faster response time.
What I'm talking about tonight, it isn't about gun control.
What do you mean it's not about gun control? It's what you've been talking about the whole time. You called out people in Congress or the House and saying they don't care that people are dying. You're talking about, you know, a bill coming out to make silencers easier to get. This whole monologue that he gave is supporting his leftist agenda for supporting gun control.
Common sense says you don't let those who suffer from mental illness buy guns.
He's right. Common sense does tell us that. But guess what? They can't. Again, he's going back to the bill that allows people on Social Security to be able to purchase guns. And he's counting on you not knowing.
You know, in June of last year, the NRA fought to make sure people on the no-fly list can buy guns. They aren't allowed to get on a plane. They're allowed to own a very dangerous gun. Who thinks that makes sense?
Now, he's talking about the NRA and the no-fly list, and that's completely ridiculous. The no-fly list is comprised of a list of just average, anyday people. You don't even have to do anything wrong to get put on the no-fly list. There are 7 ways to get put on the no-fly list. Number 1, you can raise suspicion that you're involved in terrorism. Facts and evidence are not required. Number 2, you can post something on Facebook or Twitter. Number 3, somebody else could think you're a potential terror threat or just not like you. Number 4, according to someone else, someone who doesn't like you, you could be a terrorist. Number 5, you can know someone who someone else does not like. Number 6, if you're in a category or a group of people that they think are a threat, you can be upgraded. And number 7, you're just unlucky. That's the most important reason, just unlucky.
Maybe I'm nuts, but I would like to think we can put politics aside and agree that no American citizen needs an M16 or 10 of them.
Put politics aside, no American needs an M16. This whole thing is about politics. How can you put politics aside if you're politicizing it, if you're making it about politics? And Americans are not allowed to own M16s.
And don't forget what's going on in Puerto Rico either, because just because they're not the lead story today, they still need help. And if you want to help either one of those cities, Puerto Rico is not a city, obviously, but Vegas or Puerto Rico, a good way to do that is to give to the American Red Cross. There's the information right there on the screen. And we send all our love to our family and friends in Las Vegas and to everyone affected by this terrible event. I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm not great with this kind of thing, but I just think it's important.
It's always important to help other people, but don't donate to the Red Cross, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. During Hurricane Harvey and during Hurricane Irma, so many reports, more than I care to imagine, has come through that's really pissed me off, of people donating to them and it just getting squandered or wasted or stolen, or money being taken by the Red Cross people instead of given to the people who needed it. The Red Cross has lost its way right now. Local organizations who are trying to help, such as churches, you know, or UNICEF, places like that, are the better way to donate your money, because you never know where it's going to go when you give it to the Red Cross. Additionally, Casey Neistat has announced that he has a GoFundMe page set up, and I will link it in the description below. I apologize for the somewhat negative feel of this video. The moon is up here behind me, that's why I chose the location where I am right now. I also apologize for the length of this video. But I felt like that whole skit was a lie and it needed to be rebutted. Please, if you like this video, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button down below, and subscribe. The next video will be back to normal.